Patty J in the building. What's up, man? On IG. But yes, aside from my preferences in bottled water, I did want to talk about these Women's Champions League matches. There were two today, semifinals of the Women's Champions League, and the first one was Barca taking on PSG. And this game, I have to say, I just enjoyed watching this game so much. It was a little sad for me because it started at the same time as the Arsenal women's game. And so I was trying to dual screen, but I just found my eyes continuously drawn towards the PSG Barca game. And, it made me a little sad. It made me think, yeah, God, I just wish Arsenal could get back to that level where they're consistently in Europe and challenging to be in those late stages of the European competition, because these four teams that are left are really just the class of Europe right now. Barca versus PSG. Jenni Hermoso got things going early on. She scored on a header at the back post, and it was a weird situation with the goalkeeper Endler for PSG. I think she probably could have came out, left Hermoso, and she ended up in that like no man's land position, and Hermoso finished it at the back post. But PSG ended up equalizing also off of a header from a corner kick. It was like flicked on, and then Alana Cook at the back post, USA international, of course, scoring the goal to equalize for PSG. To be honest, that was a big goal for PSG, because from the start, Barca, I thought, really dominated this game. They had a lot of possession, but they had possession with great intent as well in this game. This is a team that, honestly, I have not been able to watch a lot of this season. Their Champions League games have been on at like very strange hours, and I can't say I watch a whole lot of the La Liga Femenil in Spain. But in getting to actually watch them for a full 90 minutes today, I was blown away. I thought they were superior to PSG for the vast majority of the game. They forced some big saves out of Endler as well. As much as I do think she could have done better on the first goal, she made some huge saves, a couple in the first half that kept them in this. And I don't think that, if she was in goal, I think PSG could have easily been down 2-1, 3-1 after this tie. But like I said, PSG did equalize through Alana Cook, and I think it gave them a little bit more confidence. They got back into the game, and although they didn't have a lot of the ball, they did create a ton of chances on the counterattack. Katoto specifically had two huge chances, one that went off the post, and then she had another that I think ended up getting saved. And Gaoro had a great chance in the second half as well, where she could have almost rounded the goalkeeper, but a nice save from her to push it out. And then in the second half, Barca again squeezed it and really were starting to turn the screw a little bit on PSG. And Ashwala came on in the second half, and she had the best chance of the game right at the end. Kind of whiffed it on like, there was a beautiful build-up, overlapping run on the outside, cross came in, and she was right in front of goal. She made a perfect run, and she kind of fluffed her opportunity. So it ended up 1-1. I think Barca will feel pretty confident because they get to go home for the second leg. Again, even on aggregate right now, but they've got another leg, and I think that they would definitely be the favorites there. I was just surprised because really I was high on PSG after they knocked out Lyon. I was thinking, you know what, this could be their year. Maybe they've finally surpassed that. But I will say I slept on Barca. I hadn't watched enough of them, and now that I've seen them, they are looking like favorites to me moving forward. What's up to everybody on IG coming through? Appreciate y'all. Be sure to check out the YouTube if you haven't already, and to the people on YouTube, thanks for being here. Be sure to hit that like button as well, especially if you're watching this later. Run up those likes on this video. We're running out of breath sometimes, bro. I'm out of shape. I need these lungs to do better. Yeah, leave your thoughts if y'all watched any of those games. I don't know if anybody did, but if you're not, I definitely recommend to tune in. I think both of these games are going to be really intriguing for the second legs. I mean, the first legs were great today, but a lot left to be determined in them. But let's move to the second game. Bayern taking on Chelsea. Bayern was at home in this one. This was the other semifinal. And early on, Bayern went ahead early, and it was Katrin Berger who was the hero for Chelsea last week against Manchester City. She made probably the save of the season in the WSL to actually keep them to potentially keep them in first and help them win the title. AZC says, didn't watch, but I'm super high on Spain for the World Cup and just their team in general. Yeah, absolutely. My apologies. Yeah, I agree. I think they'll be very fascinating to watch in the Euros. I'm curious how they do this summer. I don't think Spain are in the Olympics, but we will get to see them in the Euros. And yeah, they have a bunch of players from that Barca team, so very exciting for sure. I think that I don't know if it's just the fact that maybe here in the US we don't have as much streaming opportunities to watch the Spanish women's teams, but I mean they've been just annihilating the entire league this year. I think they're like plus 100 goal difference, and they haven't lost a game. They haven't even tied a game. So yeah, they're pretty special. But yeah, the Bayern Chelsea game, like I said, Bayern did score early in this one, and to me, I mean, it was a nice cross, I would say, from Glass, but I think Berger should have done a lot better in the Chelsea goal. She had two hands on it, kind of let it go over her hands, and then the tap in at the back post for Lohman. And then Chelsea scored like the strangest goal in the world to equalize. It was like a free kick where the defender was gonna head it out, and then Leopolds was literally just standing right there. It just bounces off her head. She didn't know anything about it. Looped perfectly over the goalkeeper and went in. So, yeah, it was a very strange goal, and I think Bayern. It took them by surprise a bit because they did come out very strong at the beginning of the game and got that early goal. They were just kind of like, wait a minute, how are we now back tied again? Because that goal was silly. And then Bayern ended up going back ahead, though. Good response from them. Hanna Glass, who sent in the cross for the first goal, ends up curling one right into the top corner, just cutting inside and seeing that Berger had left a little bit of space open at the near post. And once again, I have to say, I think Berger could have done better on this, but it was a nice hit, absolutely, from Hanna Glass. And yeah, she was really the hero today. And football is a funny game, you know. Berger going from the hero from Chelsea to having a pretty forgettable performance in Europe. And it gives Bayern a very commanding lead heading into the second leg, but it will be away at Chelsea. So if Bayern can get a goal early in that game, then that will definitely put them in a very good position. But Chelsea with a 1-0 win at home, because they did get the away goal in this leg, could go through as well. So very finely poised. And I was impressed with Bayern, I have to say, because I think a lot of people were seeing Chelsea as a favorite in the Champions League, especially with, again, their recent performance against City and looking like they are going to go ahead and win the WSL. But Bayern, I felt like, really controlled this game. And because of how fluky Chelsea's goal was, you know, they will feel that they should have won 2-0 in this game. And I don't think Chelsea were fully ready for that test because Bayern's defending was so excellent in this game. Yes, they did carve out a few chances. G hit the crossbar in the second half. I think Pernille Harder had one chance where she was literally on the goal line and didn't need to do anything but tap it in, and she wasn't able to convert. But, you know, for the most part, Bayern, I think, held them out, and they controlled the tempo of the game. They really squeezed in on the middle and stayed very compact and just forced Chelsea to play backwards and play wide and couldn't break them down through the middle. And that's what Chelsea are so good at. They're good at finding those little slip balls in behind, and Bayern didn't really give them many of those opportunities, which is a lot easier said than done against the superstar roster that Chelsea has put together. So I want to give a lot of credit to Bayern. That's another team that, again, I haven't watched as much of this season. Those WSL teams definitely I've seen a lot more of. So coming into the game, I didn't know as much about them, but I thought they played really well. And yeah, shout out to them for a big win. And Chelsea has a lot of work to do in that second leg.